We all know that breathing is very essential to singing, and we already discussed about it a little bit during our previous episodes. Today, we are going to talk about diaphragmatic breathing that we use for singing. So, basically, how do we breathe? We take in air, which is the inhalation process, and when we exhale, the air goes out. If you look at the internal structure of our body, you can see that below the lungs, there is something called diaphragm, right? So when we inhale, the diaphragm actually goes down or get inflated. And when we exhale, the diaphragm comes back to its original position. In many singers, I have noticed that they don't breathe in the right way. So what do I mean by this? So what they usually do is reverse breathing. Most of them take air into the chest area like this. This is wrong. What we actually need is that when we take in air, the abdomen comes out. That is a sign of the inflation of diaphragm or the movement of diaphragm. That way, we know that the diaphragm is engaged. Diaphragm is also a muscle, but it's an internal thing. So, when we exhale or sing, this diaphragm comes back to its original position. So make sure that you don't do reverse breathing. A good way to understand diaphragmatic breathing is to just lie down on your back and observe how your abdomen is moving up and down. Then you will understand that only the abdominal part is moving and not the chest. So we need to breathe like this when we stand or sit during singing. So why is diaphragmatic breathing very important? We already discussed that phonation is the process of the production of sound. So for the right production of sound, what is the requirement? The right airflow. So how do we control the airflow? By regulating the breathing. So what do I mean by regulating the breathing? The regulation of the movement of diaphragm. So the basis of vocal technique is the control of airflow, which can be facilitated only by controlling the movement of diaphragm. So by controlling the movement of diaphragm, you are essentially controlling the airflow, the speed at which air hits the vocal cords, or the amount of air hits the vocal cords. So diaphragmatic breathing is important. How do you practice diaphragmatic breathing? One way to practice, I already told you, to lie down on the back, right? Another way to practice diaphragmatic breathing is to just stick yourself or stick your back towards the wall so that your upper body is straight, and then keep your hand on your abdomen and just breathe in and observe the movement of abdomen. So that way you make sure that your breathing is right. So let's do a breathing exercise now. So take in air and do hiss. I'll demonstrate it now. By doing this, you will understand how the abdomen is moving forward and backwards while you inhale and exhale. Let's do a variation of this hiss exercise. You know how to produce the sound, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that way you can practice good airflow technique. One is the hiss exercise and the second one is this variation. So please practice diaphragmatic breathing for the right support and right singing.